Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, today we're diving into something fans have literally debated for decades. We are talking Superman versus Thor, the ultimate clash of legends. And this isn't just a heavy-hitting brawl. No, it's a massive collision of two totally different archetypes. On one side, you've got the alien powered by science and the sun. On the other, the literal god of thunder, fueled by ancient myth and magic. We're going to step right into the eye of the storm to see exactly how this plays out. So, let's set the scene. We're not down on the street level for this one. Boom, we are instantly thrust 3,000 feet up, hovering over a totally storm-ravaged New York City. Thunder is just rolling in the background, it is dark, it's hostile, and it completely isolates our two titans high above humanity. The clouds literally split apart as these two figures hover face to face. I mean, the vibe here is purely elemental. It is so much larger than life. Right out of the gate, Thor spins his legendary hammer Mjolnir, and he goes straight on the offensive. And I mean psychologically as well as physically. He calls him Kryptonian, right? He flat out says, "You are no god, yield before the might of Mjolnir or be broken by it." Thor is demanding absolute submission here. He's operating from, centuries of totally unchecked godly supremacy. But Superman? Yeah, he doesn't take the bait. He's just hovering there, completely calm, arms crossed. He doesn't even bother arguing about divinity. Instead, he drops this incredibly cool, scientifically grounded line. "I don't need to be a god, Thor. I just need to be faster than lightning." Just like that, Superman drags this massive mythological threat right back down to the realm of physics. To him, Thor's magic is just, another force of nature he cannot maneuver. Well, that calm lasts for maybe a microsecond before everything just explodes. Thor hurls Mjolnir with absolutely everything he's got. But then, something impossible happens. Superman catches it. One-handed. The kinetic energy from this impact is so insanely huge that the shockwave literally flattens empty buildings 3,000 feet below them. Sparks are just cascading across the entire sky. The environment itself is buckling under the sheer pressure of this catch. Thor is just staring, eyes wide. Impossible. And you have to remember, Mjolnir isn't just a really heavy piece of metal, right? It carries a literal ancient enchantment. So for Thor, the idea that a mortal, or even an alien, could just reach out and casually stop his most powerful weapon dead in its tracks, it's completely paradigm shifting. In a fraction of a second, his whole understanding of the universe is just shattered. Then, Superman casually drops Mjolnir and delivers this absolute mic drop of a line. "Impressive hammer, but I've fought gods before." He is completely unfazed by the whole divine thing. He acknowledges the weapon is great, but simultaneously puts the thunder god right in his place. Because to Thor, he is a god, but to Superman, Thor is honestly just the latest in a very long line of incredibly powerful beings he's had to deal with. But look, you don't just drop Mjolnir and walk away. The hammer acts like a boomerang. It snaps right back into Thor's grip, and Thor instantly capitalizes on that momentum, slamming the hammer directly into Superman's jaw. The impact rockets the Man of Steel backward a full mile through the air. A whole mile! It's a huge reminder that, hey, Superman might have the speed, but Thor's magical weapon hits with literal world-breaking force. Up until this exact moment, Superman has been pretty chill, kind of treating this whole thing like a heavy sparring match. But after taking a hit that launches him a mile away, the tone shifts. He stops midair, he turns, and his eyes, they start to glow red. Okay, now you've made me angry. The gloves are officially off, guys. The restrained Boy Scout is gone, and the earth-shattering power of a Kryptonian is about to be completely unleashed. The velocity of what happens next is just terrifying. At 0 seconds, Superman accelerates to Mach 10 and straight up tackles Thor. 2 seconds in, they crash through 3 entire skyscrapers. By the 5-second mark, their combined momentum plunges them deep into the river below. And at exactly 10 seconds, Thor erupts from the water and calls down the absolute mother of all lightning storms with bolts literally as wide as city buses. It is a breathless 10-second sequence of pure elemental destruction. Nobody is holding back anymore. Erupting from the water, Thor screams, "Feel the wrath of the storm!" This is Thor in his purest elemental form. He's not just swinging a hammer now, he is channeling the raw, unbridled power of nature itself. This blinding, deafening lightning storm completely swallows Superman whole. It is a display of mythological fury, designed to just absolutely incinerate the Man of Steel. And then, just silence. The storm hits, the blinding light fades out, and for one terrifying second, it's absolutely quiet. You're left wondering, did he survive that? Did the alien actually survive the god's ultimate strike? And then his eyes open. But they aren't glowing red anymore. They are blazing, blinding white. Superman fires his heat vision, but this isn't your standard laser blast. These twin beams carve a massive hole straight through the heavy storm clouds, slamming into Thor with such unimaginable thermal and kinetic force that it blasts the god of thunder straight up into the stratosphere. It's an overwhelming, jaw-dropping display of raw power that just completely flips the momentum of the entire fight. So Superman floats up into the stratosphere to meet him, and he reveals the real turning point of the battle. "I absorb energy, Thor. Your lightning just made me stronger." This is brilliant. Thor's greatest attack was literally his undoing. Superman's cellular structure acts like a giant solar battery, right? Thor assumed his magical lightning would fry his opponent, completely missing the fact that he was actually supercharging him. Superman took the environment and turned it into his ultimate tactical advantage. Finally, the chaotic action starts to wind down. They're hovering 50,000 feet above the earth, both of them just breathing heavy. Thor's armor is totally cracked. Superman's cape is shredded to pieces. These pristine, untouchable figures from 5 minutes ago are now completely battered and bruised. They have literally pushed each other to the absolute limit, miles above the very world they're both trying to protect. After a really long pause, you see this profound mutual respect emerge. Thor drops his tone, speaking with this low, reverent voice, swearing by Odin's beard that Superman is a worthy warrior. He says, "I have not bled like this since fighting the Hulk." And Superman, he replies, "And I haven't had to try this hard since Doomsday." By comparing each other to the absolute strongest, most terrifying threats they've ever faced, they're fully acknowledging each other's incredible might. It's a really cool moment. Recognizing the absolute devastation they're going to cause if they keep going, Superman takes the high road. He offers a simple, respectful out. "This ends now, Thor. Truce?" He's not demanding a surrender here. He's just extending a hand. Thor looks down at the wrecked city far below them, clearly realizing the collateral damage of their pride, and he just slowly nods. But, Thor's still a warrior prince, so of course he gets the final word on their rivalry. He says, "Truce. But know this, Man of Steel, Asgard remembers. One day when the stakes are real." He accepts the truce, sure, but he makes it crystal clear that this clash, it is only paused. It's definitely not forgotten. If they ever cross paths when the fate of their world is actually on the line, well, the outcome might be very, very different. Superman just gives him this confident smile and says, "You'll know where to find me." They shake hands, officially sealing the pact. And the second their hands meet, the lightning and the sunlight break through the heavy storm clouds together. Down below, the crowd just erupts in cheers. The forces of magic and science, of ancient myth and the modern age, they've found a peaceful, temporary equilibrium. So, we're left with a truly epic standoff. The storm is cleared, the truce is made, but man, that tension is still there. We watch Superman's scientific invulnerability go head-to-head with Thor's divine elemental fury, and they tested each other to the absolute limit. But like Thor warned, Asgard remembers. So I gotta ask you, if that day ever comes, when the stakes are real and nobody is holding back, who do you think actually wins? When gods and steel collide for the final time, whose side will you be on? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the impossible.